Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss current affairs for today, 19th May 2022. Welcome to all the participants who are watching this premiere live and welcome to all the people who are watching this later as well. Today's quote. Today's quote says, "A person who feels appreciated will always do more than what is expected." And today I would like you to take this opportunity to thank yourself, to appreciate yourself for putting so much efforts into your dreams and imaginations. In fact, the thought of serving lakhs and crores of people beyond the personal self, this itself deserves appreciation. So appreciate yourself today for the hard work that you have put in. And if you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and shares. Let's understand what we're going to discuss today. All right. Today we have World Bank governance indicators, something indicating towards some not very positive indications for the country. We'll understand more. Child malnutrition been indicated by UNICEF report. Indigenous warship, two of them released by the government. Ethanol blending, the targets raised. Warmest on record years declared by World Meteorological Organizations for the last 7 years. Central Administrative Tribunal in news. Multi-Purpose Project from Jammu and Kashmir, Vadnagar from Gujarat, and child marriages as the case study for today. Let's start this discussion. The first important report for today is the World Bank's governance indicators. World Bank used to present a very important report in the past. It was called as ease of doing business, and that would indicate if the investors around the world, if the governments around the world should invest at certain locations or not. Now, the report has been disbanded because of certain issues in the production of report. However, World Bank still participates through production of governance indicators. They are called as WGI, World Bank Governance Indicators. Now, there are 6 indicators of governance in the country, and World Bank ranks 215 countries on these parameters. The parameters are voice and accountability, political stability and absence of violence, government effectiveness, regulatory quality, rule of law, and control of corruption. Now, you need not remember each of them, but you need to understand these are the important parameters on which the governance of any country could be rated. Corruption index, accountability of the government, presence of peace, regulatory quality, rule of law, right? So, on all these parameters, India's stand has slid. It has gone down. And who has rated this? So let us understand who has rated this. Thousands of people who are literati, who are educated enough, and who are at important positions. World Bank has picked up inputs from them. World Bank has also picked up inputs from other reports. For example, we have World Economic Forum's World Competitiveness Index report. We have Freedom International's reports called as the Freedom House report, which talks of the governments which are partly free, free, or not free. Now, India has been rated as partly free. Its democracy indicators have slid in those reports. In fact, India also has been called as defective democracy by BTI. So they have picked up these kind of reports, international reports, taken values from think tanks like Economic Intelligence Unit of Economist magazine and various other credible places. So this is how they have been able to prepare the report. Now, what is the impact? Impact will be that there will be possible downgrading of the credit worthiness of the country. Now, credit worthiness is determined by international agencies like Moody's, S&P Global, Fitch, etc. And though these agencies had downgraded India's rating, but they still made it stable, so that India could be a destination for investments. But having governance indicators which are worsening with time, this is going to be an area of concern for the country, right? So this is an important thing to note. Circulation of finances is a mandate for the country, because only when we receive dollars will we be able to do external trade. All right. Now, one important criticism of a report like this is that it has not had many Indian people in the think tank of this World Bank governance indicators. Indian think tank has not been taken into account. This is an important thing, and one important reason why India has received these kind of rating is because of certain situations that are more present in the international fora. For example, the situation in Kashmir, sedition law, actions taken against the NGOs, international NGOs from abroad, and the Citizenship Amendment Act. So these are the causes because of which World Bank has rated India as falling governance indicators, right? And India has rated much below its peers, the countries which fall in the similar socio-economic category. So this is an area of concern for India. All right. The second is on child malnutrition. Now, this report has also been presented by UNICEF, and it says something very severe on the wasting issues in the country. Now, wasting is related to the undergrowth in the weight of a child. And similarly, there's another parameter called as stunting. The height of the child does not increase as per their age. So all these issues have cropped up not just because of the war, but even before the Ukraine and Russia war, there was COVID. Even before the war, there was a issue with food management, food supplies, and even before the war, there were issues related to availability of food, right? Forced displacement of people. So this has caused innumerable number of children getting severely wasted around the whole world. And which is the hotspot? Guess what? It is South Asia. So in South Asia, there are many number of children. 1 in 22 children who are severely wasted, and this proportion is 3 times higher than the sub-Saharan region, which is considered to be one of the poorest regions in the whole world. Imagine this situation. In fact, the cost of ready to use therapeutic food, the packed food, that cost is also going to rise. So what is the condition under climate change, condition under depleted availability of agricultural area, condition under forced displacement of people because of war, crisis, international rising of food prices, and issues related to natural calamity. This is only going to cause more of child malnutrition problems. And indicators are there to see in a country like India as well. We have a sizable population of children in India who are undernourished, malnourished, and along with that, who are stunted, wasted, and who are anemic. Right, stunted, wasted, anemic around 30%, 20%, and 50%. Right, so this is the cause of concern in our country. All right. Indigenous warships always been in news these days, right? So let's quickly understand what is the status of all these kind of warships in the country. See, right now what is updated is that Surat is one of the warships India has released, and similarly Udaygiri is another warship India has released, right? So Surat is a missile destroyer, guided missile destroyer, and Udaygiri is a stealth frigate ship. All right. So Surat is a frigate and Udaygiri is a missile destroyer. Right. Now these ships have been designed indigenously by Directorate of Naval Design, and they have been built at Mazagon Dock Limited, Mumbai itself. The same institute which has built the P-75 project submarines, all 6 of them. All right. Great. So what is more important to understand about these frigates and destroyers which are being released are what is the basic distinction between each of them, because all these facts are important. However, UPSC could ask what is the difference between frigate and destroyer or cruiser. So let's understand that what the difference between these individual organisms of the any fleet. So naval fleet ideally has these 6 different kind of ships, aircraft carrier that you see right here. Then cruisers, destroyers, the third one is destroyer, frigates, corvette, and submarines. All right, all 6 of them combined in varied proportions will be called as a fleet. So USA 6th fleet, which moves around in Southeast Asia region, has got more than 50 of these kind of ships. Right. Similarly, Chinese fleet also keeps moving. UK's fleet also is moving all around in the area, because Indo-Pacific region is an important region. So what is the difference between these different kind of vessels? Now, aircraft carriers are those which carry aircrafts not only above but below them as well. So there is a platform, it can make the aircraft come up and then it can take off from these surfaces, right? So this acts as a land on sea, and it can be a moving land on sea, right? This is one. Similarly, we have got other vessels. For example, we have got cruisers. So the prime aim of cruiser ships was to interfere into an air battle. So if they are attacking an aircraft, this is what is the prime purpose of cruisers. Similarly, when we look at destroyers, the main aim of the destroyer was to ensure that they would be fast moving, heavily powered ships, and they would destroy the opponent ship. Similarly, when we talk about frigate would be used for submarines, destroying the submarine. So this is for submarine. The cruiser is for air combat. The destroyer is for the land-based combat, or destroying anything on the surface. Similarly, corvettes are very fast-moving small ships. All right, so these are the kind of ships that the complete fleet has, and we all know about submarines. We have done a couple of editorials and quite a few things on current affairs. So these are the kind of ships which Indian Navy also has. Now we've got one aircraft carrier building another one right now, and we've got quite a few submarines. We got all the kind of ships in the country, and so do all other competing nations. Okay. Ethanol blending. The target for for raising the ethanol blending with the petroleum has been increased in the country. So the target was to have 20% ethanol blending in the country by the year 2020 to 2030, but the target has been raised to 2025. Now this is an important ambitious target the government has raised. There are concerns and there are advantages. Once we have the ethanol blending targets raised, the advantage is that we will need to import lesser fuel, lesser petroleum from abroad. And how will we produce ethanol? We'll be able to produce ethanol with the help of large sugarcane cultivation that we have in the country. But the area of concern is this, that when we have sugarcane cultivation, it will need immense water. It will need more area under sugarcane cultivation. So that is the concern. On the other hand, having more blending will save a lot of money for the exchequer. Now, government had it had released, Ministry of Petroleum, that we've already achieved almost 10% of ethanol blending. By the end of this last financial year. All right. So this is the update raising the ethanol blending targets for the country. Warmest on record years. The last 7 years have been among the warmest recorded years. This has been declared by World Meteorological Organization. There are 4 key indicators which indicate of what is the warmth level. What are they? They are the greenhouse gas concentration. It causes a lot of warmth in the whole world, right? Sea level rise, indicator of warmth because of the melting of ice, right? Ocean heat and ocean acidification. All these parameters indicate that there is warming of the whole earth, and this has been indicated through all the last 7 years. In fact, 2021 could have been one of the warmest years. It was still a very warm year, but it could not be the warmest because of La Nina. Now, La Nina causes some additional cooling effect in the Central Pacific Ocean, and that was the reason which led to lesser of temperature rise, but still it was adequate enough, right? So this is the issue, and now extreme weather led to economic damages, which led to water security issues, water scarcity, food shocks, and displacement of the people. And we are not even speaking of wars here, right? Wars could be caused because of these kind of crises, but we are just speaking of the crisis, natural crisis led by human indicators. All right. Okay. Central Administrative Tribunal news is because the Supreme Court has said that the members of CAT would not retire even at the age of retirement because there is a shortfall in the number of members of Central Administrative Tribunal. Right now, Supreme Court has set this under Article 142, which orders the Supreme Court to pass any order which is to provide complete justice. So, what is to provide complete justice here? Is to provide relief to all the applicants, central government applicants who have appealed for any justice under Central Administrative Tribunal. So once you join the services and you have some issues with the government or any pending matter, you can appeal at Central Administrative Tribunal, and this will be solving your cases. So many cases were transferred to CAT when it was formed in the year 1985, right? There were around 15,000 cases, and now the number of cases have only exceeded and gone to as much as 50,000. Now that's a matter of concern. So members right now which have been designated in CAT should be 69, but out of 69 members, how many are present? Only 29 are present. Rest of the places are vacant. So 29 will not retire. This is what Supreme Court has said. All right, and the central government has also floated the the process for recruitment. UJ multi-purpose project. Now this UJ multi-purpose project is on the river UJ, which is a tributary of river Ravi under the Indus treaty, India Pakistan Indus Treaty of 1960. The river water can be utilized in India, and that is the reason that India called this project as the project of national importance, because the water could be diverted for irrigation activities, drinking water purposes, etc. When it is declared as a multi-purpose project, this will have multi-purpose gains. So hydropower generation, irrigation, drinking water, all will be utilized. So remember UJ project on UJ river, which is a tributary of Ravi. All right. Moving ahead, Vadnagar. Vadnagar is news because it does have some link to Lumbini. Now, reminds me of one editorial we covered on Lumbini just a couple of days back. Important editorial from the perspective of India's relationship with its neighbors, strategy, political development, and connect of people. So similarly, when you look at all these developments, political connect, the religious connect, and the connect which is strategic level, Vadnagar has recently been one destinations where we could find stupas, viharas. They have been explored, and the Prime Minister says that there is a connect. See, terracotta seals, inscriptions, pendants, all these have been found of the old times related to Buddhism. So can it be called as a place of national importance? Can it be called as a heritage site for the country? Yes, the government is planning to declare this as an important heritage site. This is a part of Vadnagar is in Gujarat, and that's the update from here. Okay, the next is child marriage. Today's case study, interesting one. Koel Sarkar is the leader of the gang, a very very powerful leadership, which is called as Girl Power Group. And in Siliguri, they are creating sensation. What are they doing? So this 25-member community is going all out to spread awareness about the impact, the bad impacts of child marriage. They're also highlighting people of what is the promise that is marriage and how the individuals are trafficked. And they're also highlighting what is the right that is given to every child. So this is how they are going door to door to be able to help people recognize their rights, to be able to take justice, deliver justice to people through street plays, through public statements. This is a great initiative. This is also backed by NGO called as World Vision India. But the grassroots leadership, people like you and me, young children like us, they are the ones which are participating. So hats off, kudos to the Girl Power Group in Siliguri. And that's what, and now this is a network of all these grassroots membership. There are many of such organizations which are network with the help of World Vision India organization. So great initiative on child marriage. In fact, during COVID times, there have been many child marriages happening across the country because of financial distress, because the schools were closed. So this is where an initiative like this helps. We had done quite a few case studies on how villages in Odisha and other places have become child marriages free. Right. So this is an important case study from West Bengal. And this is where we come to the end of the current affairs session. If you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and shares. And if you've got some questions, put it down in the comment section. We will ensure to get back. We will quickly release the feature news for today. That is on the rights of reproduction. Thank you for participating.